Where's your devotion? Where's your devotion? Deep as the ocean.
Hi Virgo, welcome to Maddie Tarot. I'm Maddie, and today we're going to be doing a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements for December 16th through 31st, 2022. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate for everyone from front to back. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. You may need to swap roles throughout the reading because I am just reading energy and doing my best to put together a story based on the messages coming through, so I could be talking about you, your person, another individual, or party at any time. Just swap roles as necessary. Don't stretch or overextend yourself to make it fit. If it's not your story, it's not your story. But do be sure to check your other placements because your messages could be there. I've already cleansed the space, cleansed the decks, pre-shuffled, and meditated on the collective conscious of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. I want to take a moment to say thank you to anybody supporting this channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, leave feedback. I'm open to receiving feedback, and I do try to respond to everybody. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey with me, so thank you so much. And without further ado, Virgo, here's your spread. What does Virgo need to know? What does Virgo need to know? All right, Virgo. So, let's start with your crystal card up here. So, hematite. Hematite. Virgo, hematite. Meditating with this crystal is the best way to receive its power, and wearing it as jewelry is another way to connect to it. This stone helps with stabilizing and grounding you during difficult times. It also protects you from absorbing another person's negativity. So, Virgo, I believe you are dealing with somebody in your life at this time that is just weighing heavily on you, and you just need to ground yourself. You kind of need to find your where you stand on something. Maybe there's a conflict, but I do see that right here in your energy in this first card, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, or the Four of Spheres in the reverse. Maybe there's some sort of insecurity at play here. There could be, the Four of Pentacles in reverse is literally a need for self-protection. So this person's negativity could be weighing you down, playing on your insecurities. Maybe it doesn't necessarily mean that they're intending to do this on purpose, but there could be a lot. I mean, maybe you're giving a lot to a situation where you're feeling largely vulnerable and insecure, and you need to protect yourself in some manner. But let's get into this. I'm going to run through this quickly, and then I'll go back over one more time in further greater detail. Okay. So you've got the Star here clarifying the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So you are hopeful in this connection. You have a lot, how do you say? You're hopeful for some sort of renewal in regard to this. It looks like your person on their end, they are willing to discuss this with you. So there's planning. They got the Two of Wands here. That's taking first steps and making decisions. That's two people coming together, leaving comfort zone, making plans together. So it looks like if you do just express what your needs are and maybe your boundaries to this person, they might, it looks like they'll be receptive to these things, and that way you guys can proceed forward. They've got the Nine of Swords here in reverse to clarify. So the Nine of Swords in reverse it's about finding help. And so I believe that this is trying to say that this person will be helpful if you just express yourself. Like I said, maybe they're not trying to do this on purpose. So just express yourself to this person and see what they say. Now, in the past here, you've got the Knight of Swords. Maybe maybe this has been the result of communication in a very direct and opinionated way. Maybe you guys have reached an area where you're not really hearing each other because of the way that the communication has gone in the past. The Knight of Swords talks about definitely communication, but it's definitely impatient. It's very focused on one-sided. There's a lot of ambition there, but like ambition to get your point across and not hear the other person. And so this might be what's been going on here. And Queen of Pentacles, yeah, look at that. Queen of Pentacles is about receiving. Somebody, you either don't feel heard or your person doesn't feel heard and they feel criticized. And so on the receiving end, it's like that doesn't feel very supportive. And so then there's not a push to be very generous, or at times it can even bring you out of your sensibility. So that's the past energy that's led up to this. Now, you're at a point where you've reached the Hanged Man here. The energy between you two currently is the Hanged Man, and that is stagnation. That is needing to release something. So tension. This could be a repetitive grievance that you guys keep going through. The Hanged Man talks about a new perspective. So you can change your past by taking on a new perspective, and you can also change your future. So you have the ability to change how you see things, and it just is a matter of kind of reframing what happened. So you could look, I'm just giving an example, you could look at a past situation that was maybe unfavorable, and you could say, that was a waste of my time, and I can't believe that person took advantage of me, and this, that, and the other. Or you could say, wow, I really learned how to let go and forgive, and that was something that, I was able to gain skills to add to my tool belt that I can later on use later on in life. And I am grateful for learning these very difficult um, qualities. And so that's a way to reframe something and just kind of look at the silver lining. It takes a lot to do that, and you definitely have to address your feelings and your pain prior to being able to do that. If you're just reframing it without actually processing what happened, that's just toxic positivity, and that will just lead you into a further state of feeling numb and not really living your truth. So you don't want to do that. This stagnation is exactly from that, though. There's some sort of uncertainty, a lack of direction, and needing release. You need to let go of something that you haven't processed. You've got the Nine of Cups in reverse here, clarifying this. So the Nine of Cups in reverse, it talks about a lack of fulfillment. There's disappointment. And that's largely because of not processing what has gone on here. So you have hope, but you're not processing the pain. There's been some sort of this person would be helpful, but you got to speak up. And this could be reversed. So I could be talking about your person, and maybe you're the one that's like willing to help and willing to help this person, and they are not speaking up. They're saying it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, and it's not fine, and you can tell it's not fine. So maybe that's what's going on here, because your intuition here is telling you Seven of Swords. There's some sort of betrayal. So whether or not this person is not being honest and they are in denial, and it feels like a betrayal because this person is not telling you how they actually feel and they're saying it's fine, or you could be in denial and telling yourself the same thing and not expressing how you really feel. And so the Three of Wands here is saying to have confidence, go forward with growth, look ahead and understand, take leadership and speak your feelings. Your advice here is the High Priestess. Your challenge is the High Priestess. Your challenge is the High Priestess. Your challenge is your inner voice, your intuition. What is it telling you? What is it telling you? There's messages coming through, and you need to listen. You've got the Knave of Wands in reverse. So what the messages that are trying to come through right now is telling you you're very impatient. You're very self-limiting. You have a self-limiting belief. And that's what's coming through, because you're saying it's fine and you're not speaking, and you're saying you're taking what's happened and you're interpreting it and you're assigning a meaning to it, and it is fueling your own self-limiting belief, when instead you could communicate how you're feeling, ask for clarity, and understand a new perspective, when this person would be more than helpful to show up and affirm for you that no, that doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. Or no, that doesn't mean that you're, falling short in this area. It just means I'm sorry, I was being aloof and didn't really notice, and I will pay more attention. It could be simple misunderstandings, but you're taking things and just assigning a meaning to them and not clarifying and running with it. So you got to be really careful of that. And then your advice here is the Seven of Pentacles. So you reap what you sow. The effort you bring to the garden, you can't go and bring half of a watering pail. It's not going to grow the garden. And also, once you water the garden, you cannot go trompsing through it and walking all over it, checking it. You got to let it grow. Give it the space to grow. And you've got the Four of Swords in reverse here. So your advice here is there's recovery that's needed. There's some sort of burnout that needs to be identified. Once you identify the burnout, understand what is attributing to it. I believe it's not speaking up and it's not being communicative, whether it's you or your person, you're not communicating in certain ways. And so uncovering what that is and your needs regarding that, and then moving toward each other to find a harmonious balance in a dance you could do where you can water this garden together. And then that's when the recovery starts to happen. Now, what's really important here is the grass is only greener where you water it. The grass is only greener where you water it, meaning you may think that you get to a point in a relationship where it's like, oh, this is hard. And there's this, a lot of people think because of, all the dating apps and the internet and everything that there's so many options out there. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right? Well, they're all still fish, meaning you're going to run into the same issues. Everybody is uniquely difficult at the end of the day, and our problems are mainly our problems. So it's, you may put somebody's face over it, but you're going to get somewhere else, and it's going to be same case, different face. Because sure, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but they're all still fish. And it's more about just finding somebody who has a good heart, who is willing to take accountability, who is willing to look at their side of the street, clean up their side of the street, and who's willing to grow alongside you and put the effort into building something that's fulfilling. Because if they're not taking accountability and they're not helpful, then I mean, if you guys have misaligned values, that's that. But this person looks like they'd be helpful if you were to speak to them and actually get on the same page with them. You guys might be on the same page, just speaking different languages, so it's about time you start listening to each other. The Four of Wands here is in this person's energy of what their next move is, how they're feeling, and their thoughts. So Four of Wands is reconciliation. They feel this too. They feel this too. They want some sort of gathering, reunion, reconciliation. They want stability. And so that's what they're largely thinking of at this time. And the Hermit is in reverse here to clarify. The Hermit, they're lonely. This is an issue of you guys just not speaking up, whether it's you or them, someone's not speaking up. And you're just running on a program, a pre-programmed subconscious program. It's that broken record in the back of your self-limiting beliefs. Just because it's speaking louder than your intuition doesn't mean it's correct. You can just say, you know what, that's that broken record. I'm not going to listen to it, and change the channel. And honestly, your bias here, your caution is the Page of Spheres in reverse. So you need to understand there's procrastination, there's some sort of missed chance, and it's every time you or your person aren't speaking up. That's the missed chance here. And I don't think you're seeing that. Look at that, Knight of Cups. Move toward romance. Move toward being charming, graceful, being a mediator, being helpful, being romantic. Move toward this energy because this person also feels the need for this. You've got in your guidance here, you've got the Six of Pentacles, Six of Spheres, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Some sort of clarity and truth is needed. So you need to start being really honest. And when you start to be really honest, this will inspire each other. You'll both be enthusiastic about it. Ace of Wands, there'll be some sort of new passion that comes here. And the Six of Pentacles is about equal give and take. So right back to the beginning, it just went full circle. This person's willing to meet you halfway. You got to speak up though, whether or not this is you or them, reverse it as necessary. But what you don't see coming, the Four of Wands, there's that Four of Wands again. Reconciliation, reunion, coming back together about something. Five of Swords in reverse, dropping the resentment and hashing this out. And so it looks like it was just a lot of miscommunications. And when you have misinterpretations and miscommunications and you guys aren't clarifying, when you guys are fighting about those things, you're not even fighting about real things that are even happening. You're just fighting over misunderstandings and miscommunications, so it's all really not actually happening. So drop the resentment that may have built from this and understand that and start hearing each other, start speaking up. So let's run through this one more time so we can get a greater idea of it. So on your end, you've got the Four of Spheres in reverse and the Star, clarifying it. So you are feeling like you need to protect yourself at this time, and you're very hopeful. You're very hopeful for this connection, but you want some sort of renewal. And so you're feeling like you might need to protect yourself. But I think that might be a misinterpretation, because your person here wants to take the steps forward, and they want to leave the comfort zone that you guys have been stuck in, and they want to do some sort of planning here. They've got the Nine of Swords in reverse, so they're ready to address some sort of issues. They're ready to learn how to cope, go on the recovery. They're ready to be helpful, find help, whether that's you or them moving toward each other. They're ready for this. The past energy here is the Knight of Swords, so very opinionated, direct, some choice words, and the Queen of Pentacles. It caused somebody to feel like they weren't it made you guys very, how do you say? It wasn't nurturing energy at all, and somebody wasn't. It made you feel like you weren't receiving what you deserved, and you guys were just kind of in this back and forth with each other. That was really nonsensical. It made no sense, and it made you very confused as well. And in your present energy here, you've got the need to release something, stagnation, needing a release, letting go, a new perspective. And the Nine of Cups in reverse is clarifying it. The Nine of Cups in reverse is a lack of fulfillment. There's dissatisfaction and disappointment here. And so that is, again, miscommunications that have happened and led to this. Your intuition, the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords at its worst means somebody betraying your trust. But at its best, and that's how I'm receiving it here, at its best, it means being in denial of something. So you could think you have something all figured out, but you're actually hiding something from yourself. And you don't want to really look at it. But I think you know deep down, if you really think about it, because there's some sort of need to confidence and growth here is what your intuition's telling you. So if you look deep enough under this picture you've painted is a hidden message, and there you will find that maybe that is the key to your momentum forward here. And your challenge is the High Priestess. It's intuition, inner voice, your subconscious. Something in there is where your power lies. So tap into that. Now you've got the Knave of Wands here in reverse to clarify. And this could be some sort of impatience, distractions. A self-limiting belief here is what is underneath all that I was speaking of here. You'll find a self-limiting belief, and it's being, how do you say? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because beliefs create thoughts, and then our thoughts create our feelings. And then based on our feelings, we act a certain way and behave a certain way. And when we act a certain way and behave a certain way, people react a certain way. And when they react that way, then it goes back to confirm our belief. And so we subtly don't even realize that we are making things happen. So, for example, if you believe people are untrustworthy, you'll start to think that you need to be, you can't tell too much, you can't be vulnerable, and you need to hide your things, or you can't really open up to people, and you start to think those things, right? And then your thoughts create your emotions and your feelings. So you start to feel uneasy, you start to feel nervous, you start to feel closed off and very protective of yourself. And your feelings and emotions create your actions. You start to not speak up when you should have. You start to maybe be, your body language shows you're closed off and pulling away from somebody. You're not vulnerable, you don't speak your mind, and then that person reacts to that and thinks, well, this person's not really into me. They're not very interested. Or your energy might come off even as untrustworthy. They say, I can't really. They don't seem like they're really being authentic. And then they kind of pull away, and then you go, see, I knew it. I can't trust people. And you created it. and you don't even know it. So just eradicate negative beliefs because they literally do you no good. If you have a negative belief, you need to get rid of it. And the person who believes they can cure cancer will be the one to cure cancer. So you need to understand if it's not a good belief to have, if it's a negative belief, it's just useless. Get rid of it. Okay, so try to work on that. And then if that applies to you. Now, your advice here is the Seven of Pentacles and clarified by the Four of Swords in reverse. So putting in the effort to see, having a vision to reap the harvest and reap the reward of something. And the reward here is the Four of Swords in reverse. Healing, recovery. There's some sort of stagnation here, or I'm sorry, exhaustion and burnout here that you need. It needs healing. And so your advice here is to put in the work to facilitate that with this person. It takes two. It takes two. You can't do it alone. And your person on your mind, what they're thinking, how they're feeling, and their next move. The Four of Wands here, they want to come in and have this reunion with you and have stability, but the Hermit is in the reverse here. They're feeling lonely. Maybe they, in their own way, have tried, and maybe you didn't pick up on that, or maybe they didn't communicate it properly, so maybe that was a missed opportunity here. Because your caution here is telling you missed opportunities and to move toward something. And so, again, don't just assume that this person, don't assume without asking. If you just think, oh, they don't care. Have you asked them? Have you asked them? You need to ask them, because if you're assuming, you're running off of a limiting belief that I was talking about earlier. So your bias and your caution here is Page of Pentacles in reverse, missed chances. And the Knight of Cups is to move toward romance, move toward sentimentality with this person. Okay? And your guidance here is when the truth is, when you show up as your authentic self on all levels, accounted for on all levels, and communicate these things, there will be a newfound passion. So Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. There will be a new spark, inspiring each other to, look at this, Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. A support system, gratitude, giving. And then what you don't see coming here is the Five of Swords, releasing resentment, forgiveness, making up, Four of Wands, reconciliation, reunion, coming together and having that stability. Okay, so let's get some energy cards to close out the reading for you, Virgo. Isolation. So you guys are both feeling isolated right now, whether or not you guys are together or you are in separation at this time. Both of you have this feeling. So that should be enough to tell you right there that if both of you are feeling the same way, well, there's your connecting point. There's your connecting point right there. Movement. Move toward this person. Make the first move. Get things moving. Peace. It will facilitate peace. Moving out of isolation toward this person will facilitate peace. That's like the general message of this whole reading. Growth. It will facilitate growth. Faith. Have faith. Have confidence and have faith. Trust in the process. Trust in... Look at that. Trust. I think that speaks for itself. I'm going to cut it right there. All right, Virgo, that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Feel like we've reached a crossroads. Ooh, don't you hate them ultimatums? But we need a revelation to save us. Stuck in the moment, it seems. The more I think, the more I don't know. I'm looking for a sign. Where's your devotion?